Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. We've got dueling win streaks in the National League. We got star players being benched. Oh, it's players only. Cambio. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball, presented to you by SeatGeek. My name is Jake Ronald Storielli. I was born on my Uncle Ronnie's birthday. It was going to be Jake Charles, but then I was born on his birthday, so they named me Jake Ronald. David Mendelson in the room with me. Trevor Plouffe, getting nasty in Calabasas, getting ready for the freaking weekend, baby. How you doing, Trev?
My parents were trying to have a girl when they had me. They thought they were having a girl. And then the manliest son of a gun ever freaking born came out. I'm doing great. We had a barbecue last night, Thursday night. I watched Top Gun Maverick for a little bit before the sprinklers came on. I'm going to give a Top Gun Maverick award today. This episode is testosterone driven. Yeah. We had a debate offline, and things are hot right now. And I can't wait to see what that makes. What kind of baby we're gonna make today on this show.
We're literally the Tampa Bay Rays. We're number one. We're the best, but we're working out stuff too. You know,
I would bench you right now.
Oh, you try, you try. I'd walk right up to whatever Niedermeyer's running it for the Rays now, and I'd say like, fucking.
What'd you just say, Niedermeyer?
Cash is being a fucking dick. I'm not sitting. I'm Wander fucking Franco. Trev, it's a loaded baseball season, and it's brought to you by Fuego.
Yes.
200 live channels of sports, movies, shows, and news. And you want to kind of know why they're with us? They're the leader in baseball coverage. MLB TV, MLB Network, other top sports networks. BBD's NBA draft last night. You can stream all the action from game days anywhere. And hey, Triva, what was that? Cardinals Cubs in London. You can watch that on Fubo through Fox and ESPN. 55,000 live sporting events. We're talking 4K quality. They've got a free 7-day trial going, so sign up at FuboTV.com/talkingbaseball today. Activate a special offer for 15% off your first month. There is a link in the description. Fubo, baseball, talking baseball. It's kind of what it's all about. So, with that, Friday.
What's Jack Flaherty doing in London right now?
Oh, God.
The streets.
Streets
are wet.
He's like the definition of like, I don't know, that American man comes over and orders a cheeseburger and like, woman on the other side of the bar turns and is like, whoa. She's got the accent. I mean, that's, Red Hot Chili Peppers have a song called Emmett Remus. That's English girl, American man. Yeah. Let's talk some National
All right.
League. Horny. All right. In your National League, the San Francisco Giants, Trev, they keep it rolling. They have won 9 out of 10. That one loss was in their last game, as my guy Snell continues. But otherwise, it's Los Hibido Gigantes. We saw the Yastrzemski walk-off late into the drink. Jock Peterson, I'll have what he's having. He gets the walk-off RBI walk. Same, but different. And your boy Blake Sable from the beach to the bay, man, he keeps going. The Giants out of their bullpen. Jellyfingers. He goes 4 shutty out of the pen. Giants, man. They can't stop right now, dude. They're sneaking up on my Snakes, who took 2 out of 3 from Milwaukee. Algonquin for the good place. Merrill Kelly, Zach Gallen. The best 1-2 punch. You don't talk about baseball. They won those 2 games. They got help from your boy Perdomo, who just keeps going, Trev. Alec Thomas has gotten recalled up, and he be hitting. Couple multi-hit games. Brew Crew won the game in the middle. Urias and Adames. That's kind of their formula, right? Snakes, though, we're playing for rings in the desert. The Chicago Cubs, a team that needs to be discussed. They sweep the Pirates. Don't look at the L10 for the Pirates right now. Hello. But the Cubbies, they shut them out the first 2 games. You know Stroman was one of them, obviously. Drew, he's just being smiley. Mike Tauchman's having big games. Dansby, Happer. I love it. In that final game, Horno and Hendricks. That was our old name on this show. Cubs get the sweep. But they keep pace with the Cincinnati Reds. W11 in their recent games. It's unreal, man. Comeback wins. This was Joey Votto's return. He hits the big homer. Then they lose the lead. They come back in that one. TJ Friedl the next night and Ellie De La Cruz. This team, man, I mean, name a better time to be a Reds fan in the last decade, question mark? They probably have some. Sound off in the comments. And your St. Louis Cardinals do take 2 out of 3 from the Nats. You mentioned Jack Flaherty. He goes 6.1. He gives a lot of runs, but he eats up the innings, and they win that game. Cardinals, they put up runs, man. Goldschmidt, Edman, Wilson Contreras, Dylan Carlson, 2-dinger day. How about that? Trevor Williams and the boys, they blank him on the final game. As we mentioned, St. Louis heading across the pond. And then they only played 2 games instead of 3 because we had a postponement. Braves win 2 against the Phillies. Strider Suarez, that was a fun duel. In the final game, you might have seen the highlight. Our boy Schwarber goes for the diving catch, would end the extra inning. Yeah, boy. Things fall apart. It turns into 5. Braves win those 2 games. That is what happened in your National League.
Electric.
Braves on top of the division. They have a 6-game lead on the Miami Marlins, who are 43-33. Braves casually on an 8-game winner, by the way. Phillies are 2 games above 500. The Mets are 34-40. Come on, Mets. Nats, you. Cincinnati is atop the NL Central at 40-35. The Brewers are 1.5 back of them. The 3rd place, Chicago Cubbies. How about it? 3.5 back. They're 8-2 in their last 10. I mentioned the Pirates, 0 for 10. Yipes. Tough. St. Louis Cardinals, yeah. Snakes, 46-30 on top. 3.5 games up on the San Francisco Giants. Hello. Dodgers, half game up on them. San Diego, they're back there, man. 36-39. And the Rockies are waiting to call up Cole Tucker. Trevor, in the National League, I know you call yourself the Cron King. I guess we do some Giants. They're obviously your and Gabe's Giants, and we did cover I think a little bit of this in the midweek because that Yastrzemski walk-off was sick to end that game. And then, yeah, man, I mean, we hate when we sound lame, Trevor, but and I'll let you make fun of me, but like right now, one of these teams wins games at the end, and one of these teams loses games at the end, and that's why they're, however many games apart in the standings. Horrible analysis.
No, it's right. That's the reason that's happening, though, and this series in particular is just kind of a snapshot of it, though, is hitting with runners in scoring position. I mean, how much do you talk about in baseball timely hitting matters? And how do you quantify that? Well, mainly by hitting with runners in scoring position. The Padres did not do that the first 3 games. Snell jumped on the bump day. Snellzilla puts up a great start for them in the last game, and they hit with runners in scoring position. And guess what? They won 10-0. Yeah. But before that, they're coughing up leads. The bullpen's not holding. They had a lead going into the 9th against the Giants in the first game. And wild pitch, sac fly by Patrick Bailey, who's like kind of massive for this team.
Yeah.
They have these 2 young stud catchers. And how often do we talk about catchers just being like absolute central cogs to a team? They get the job done. Yastrzemski comes up and freaking walks it off with a 3-run bomb in the first game. This Giants team is doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is just playing solid baseball. They're getting hits when they need to. They're having quality at bats. The bullpen's been great for them. Gabe Kapler's hot. What else is there to say? You got to watch out for this team. I'm so happy that like this is happening again, because in 2021, when they won all those games, we were able to talk about, hey man, like they got something going there. Like the culture is there, and they've been able to build this. And that's a real thing in baseball. And they're doing it right now again. What did they finish last year? Like straight at 500, I'm pretty sure. This year's completely different. They're on a roll right now. Can they catch the Snakes? I don't know. It's yet to be seen. But taking 3 or 4 from the Padres, that's nice, man. And on the flip side of the Padres, again, it's like, you got all these guys. What did I say? Some stupid thing like, how many times are Bogarts?
You had like 4 guys homering in the same game, which is crazy.
Like, that should happen, though. It's not crazy. Look at the names I'm talking about. It's not like I'm saying freaking Jake Storiale and Nicky Cass are going to hit home runs in a blitzball game. That's dumb.
Yeah.
What I said wasn't dumb. It just hasn't happened yet. Yeah. So, with the Padres, it seems to me like it's a waiting game, and all of a sudden we're going to be talking about the Padres and this 10-game winning streak they went on, and they're right back in it. But it hasn't happened yet, Jake.
Yeah, it should happen. Will it happen? That's going to be very interesting. But man, I wonder if they're starting to get to one of those weird situations where, like Soto's been killing it for a while. Like Soto's got to be looking around. He's got a 2-homer game. He's like, I'm doing my part. Tatis has been killing it. He's kind of looking around like, I'm doing my part. Machado's back doing his thing. He's got to be looking around like, I'm doing my part. That, I don't know. I feel like that can cause some weirdness in a locker room when, if you're not necessarily winning, but the stars feel like, well, we're doing our, like, I don't know what else you expect. I guess, I don't know. And going back to what I called bad analysis, those first 2 games are tied in the 8th inning or later. Like you said, they had a lead. Wild pitch, that's kind of losing baseball. And then they walk Jock to bring in the winning run. So, yeah, that's not winning baseball.
Some numbers behind it. Going into that last game yesterday on Thursday, 195, 289, 330 for a 618 OPS with runners in scoring position for the San Diego Padres. Yeah. That's not going to get it done. That's how you end up losing series. They finally did it. They were 4 for 29 with runners in scoring position before the last day. Then on Thursday, they went 5 for 10. What happened on Thursday? They won the game.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes it is as simple as that. Like, yeah, you're going to have games where the bullpen doesn't hold, and you're going to have games where you just get beat. A pitcher comes and just dominates you. But if you're not able to string together consecutive good at bats or plate runners when they're in scoring position, it's going to be a long freaking season. Now, are these things, do they end up averaging out? I like to say that. I think they will. When you have an offense with names like this, I think it should. But you got to do it or you don't do it. That's analysis.
We're hot today, baby.
Oh, my gosh.
Trev, we mentioned the Snakes. They took 2 out of 3 from the Brewers, which I think before the season would have felt off where we're currently at. Kind of makes sense, right? Like Kelly and Gallen. And by the way, you might be hearing about one of those guys later. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Alec Thomas, I think he's the guy that I'd want to highlight here. He gets called back up. He's been giving them some big games. Remember the Diamondbacks, their outfield depth. They're trading away Varsho. He was supposed to be one of the guys. Him and McCarthy got off to slow starts, and they've been contributing now. I did DM Jake McCarthy late last night. Was kind of in my feels a little bit.
You were.
We're gonna see where that leaves us, because we're follow for follow, but we've never engaged. But we're both Jake and we're both Snakes. And I'll give Julio Teheran a little love, man. Sometimes we move on from guys in baseball, and he gets an opportunity. 6 straight starts, 5 innings, at least 5 innings, and 2 or fewer runs. Second longest active streak in the majors. Not really super surprised by this series.
You spot Merrill Kelly, who I think we're going to be talking about a little bit later. You spot him a 6-run lead in the first. Good things are going to happen.
Against Corbin Burns.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Second game, Snakes were ahead in that one too. Good on the Brewers for coming back. And then, you get Zach Gallen, 7 innings pitch, 1 run. He just hates us, I think.
He uses it as fuel.
He looks at that chart and says, these idiots didn't even, there was 20-something pitchers taken. You didn't even put me. Was there 20? Yeah, there wasn't 20.
20, around there.
There's like 15. There's like 15 pitchers taken 25? And we didn't take him. He's got to hate us.
Yeah.
I think he's like the front runner for Cy Young right now.
We got cute with it. I will say one of my cute last picks was Snell, and I'm starting to buy that. But yeah, no, they're good. Talking about them a little more later. Brewers, NL mid, which I did want to ask you this before we go to the Cubs because I'm interested to get your thoughts on them. But Trev, can you? And I don't know this 30 seconds high and tight, or if you start dreaming, let me know. But how good is that feeling? You're the Snakes. You come in, Corbin Burns. Oh shit, it's gonna be a tough day at the office today. And you clip them for 6 in the first. How high is that tee?
You just set the tone right there. And they're rolling. I think the high tee comes from, hey, we're in fucking first place in the NL West, and nobody thought that was going to happen. Here we are. We showed up. We're doing it, and they just continue to win series. They're already riding high. But you're right. You do that against an ace, arguably one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. Not even arguably, he's one of the best pitchers in all of baseball, and you go do that. It's a nice feeling, and you have one of your studs on the mound, and he does his thing, and you say, "Hey, ain't nobody stopping us." Yeah. It's nice to be a Snake right now.
Funny sentences with sports. Trevor, the Pirates, L10. Oh, boy. The ship is sinking a little bit there, which...
A little bit?
I think we anticipated. I don't think we anticipated like this. On the other side of it, though, a team that... And this is where I constantly... Whenever it gets brought up, you see my brain just spinning and the hamster wheel doesn't have answers. The Chicago Cubs... 8-2 in their last 10. They are now 2 games below 500. Okay, that normally doesn't sound flashy. They're 3.5 back in the NL Central, and this is a team you've liked their roster. You like the names on this roster throughout the season. And like I said, when you look at some of their stats, their starting pitching has been a strength, which I think coming into the year you would have thought that could have been a weakness for this team. This Cubs team has a little bit of juice in a big June that'll dictate a lot of teams and what they do at the deadline.
They keep winning games, and you're right, their pitching has been great. We can talk about Marcus Stroman, all day long because he keeps talking shit and backing it up, which is that's when talking shit is great. When you can go out there every 5th day and do your job and say, hey, the price is going up. Oh yeah, remember when I wanted that extension and I want to be here in Chicago? Yesterday's price ain't today's price. It reminds me of Josh Donaldson. We used to do Billy Bean. Love those stories. Happy for Marcus Stroman. The Pirates, quickly, I don't want to harp on this, but they're 14-31 since the beginning of May. This is not a quick descent from the top. This has been a long, slow, sinking ship. Get it? Because they're Pirates. That was pretty good. Thought about that one for a while. I don't know, man. I think the Cubs are in an interesting position here where you're 2 games back. We know what the standings are. You have a guy like Marcus Stroman who's going to decline his player option at the end of the year. What do you do? He's almost forcing them in to have an extension. Right? What are your options? Trade him. Can't do that right now. You can't. You're too close. You'd like to, if you were out of the race, trade him. Great. Get some prospects, whatever. You need to sign this guy, or else you just let him walk at the end of the year. It's a very interesting position that front office has put in. And I kind of I'm fascinated when this happens and front offices have to make the tough choice. What do you think is going to happen here? To me, I'll give you my answer quick because I like to just talk and I don't like to pass it off to you all the time. I think they extend him. I think he's forced them into an extension.
You think so?
Yes.
I don't know, man. I mean, that just seems so.
But if you're Marcus, maybe you just say no.
Then that's what I guess I don't see Stroman agreeing to anything. Stroman's been one of the best pitchers in baseball, and he's got a chance to hit free agency that, unless they're throwing, true ace money at him, which, that hasn't been the Cubs' MO of recently. Like if I'm Stro, I'm sprinting to free agency, and if I'm the Cubs, I think they believe Marcus Stroman's really good, but right now he's on pace for an 8-WAR Cy Young 1 or 2 season, basically. That I don't to instantly react and pay on that feels like a guttural fan reaction. But I'm a fan.
You love those.
You and Aaron Boone remind me of that all the time. So maybe then I'm all in. Yep, sign him now. Max, give him an NBA max contract.
I guess, yeah, what does that look like? Because you're right. I mean, he's pitching as good as he can pitch. I mean, it's really hard to pitch better than he is pitching right now.
Values all-time high.
But, you had your chance with him. He keeps saying to the media,
right,
on his social media, hey, I want to be a Cub. I love the fan base here. He's put you in a corner. Love that. I love when a player can do that to a front office because it's always the other way around. Anyway, it's good on the Cubs, man. I hope they keep going because I do like the guys on the team. I think they've constructed a decent roster, and they're in a division that's very much winnable.
Know what's a good formula? I'll throw this in the binder, and you'll like this a lot for Stroman. He's leading the National League in, I get, least amount of home runs allowed by a starting pitcher per 9, 0.5 homers per 9. And he's also leading the National League in WHIP. So he's not letting runners on, and he's not giving up homers. That's the ticket. That's the ticket. I want to see, who do the Cubbies got coming up? Pirates, ooh. All right. Oh, I mean, Cubbies are in London, so Cubbies and Cardinals in London, that should be electric. Are those games going to be on early? They got to be, right?
I don't know. Flaherty's already posting on his Instagram very early in the morning over here, West Coast time. I wonder if the balls are doesn't it seem like whenever we go like abroad, the balls just fly? Like what's the stadium gonna be like? Like gonna be 300-foot fences all the way around or some silly stuff like that? I'm curious to see how it goes.
The last London one was crazy. Scientists coming out saying like that the ball like was just super hittable, and you're like, how? Like this,
I don't trust an English scientist whatsoever. I don't trust English people, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's fair.
You guys lost.
Hiding.
Let's see.
You don't got to do the voice.
Cardinal. Okay, so they got a 1:10 start Eastern time Saturday, and then a 10 a.m. Sunday. So hey, a little Sunday 10 a.m. brunch and baseball for you. Why not? Okay. Quick. Cubs selling at the deadline, yes or no?
Yeesh.
Right?
No, it's. I feel like Cubs fans probably don't want to hear us talking about this, but it's the reality of the situation, guys. Like, I think that they have to be within 3 games of first place in the NL Central for them not to at least move some pieces around.
Okay. I like you.
I think it might be like a sell, but not fully sell. Like, hey, here's some stuff on offer up here. Does anybody want this? Real quick, just right. Don't tell anybody about it, but here you go.
I think they're into what they're doing. I think the front office is into what they're doing. Like they brought in Stroman, they brought in Belly. Like, they're tasting themselves on Mike Talkman a little bit. That I don't know. I think if they're within like 5 games, I think they keep.
Flip side.
I hope so.
Jake, you've been on this for a bit. Like I don't know who's gonna sell. Whichever team decides to do it has a chance to be the only or one of like 2 teams with stuff people really want selling. Cubs are in the group that might be.
Yeah.
Can we just shout out Justin Steele and Kyle Hendricks? We talk about Stroman all the time because he's fun to talk about.
And he's been awesome.
These guys are, he's been awesome. But so have these guys. I mean, Kyle Hendricks in 6 starts got a 2.6. Justin Steele in 13 starts has a 2.7. Like gosh, I mean, look. The NL Central is up for grabs, and there's some good baseball to be played. I mean, we talk about I think like you talk about the AL Central, and like there's some mid teams in there. Like I think there's better teams in the NL Central.
Interesting. Let me digest that a little bit, and I'll get back to you as we talk about the team that everyone in the Central is currently looking up at, the Cincinnati Reds. Another like historic, awesome night in Reds fandom history, the Joey Votto return home run. It doesn't get much cooler than that. Then he gets the go-ahead hit like the next inning. I mean, it's just unreal. And his presser, I've had like the least popular opinion in sports. It was one of the most early Talking Baseball videos that sometimes Votto was too much for me, which I think that'll shock people because I'm too much for everyone.
Like most people.
For everyone. But I thought it was cool when we met up with Todd Frazier, and Todd's a Jersey Paisan goofball like myself, that he was like, sometimes me and Joey were on different wavelengths. Like, Joey's pretty intense. Like, look at that pregame presser. And he's doing the whole like, I need to earn my keep with this team, and it was awesome. And then he comes out and does that, and he's got the Viking thing on that you hate. That's why you're banned in Cincy. But like we've talked about, dude, Alexis Diaz, 20 for 20 in save opportunities. And then they hit, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love. I'll weigh in on the Joey Votto thing. He was always awesome to me, and not like too much. I thought he was just the right amount of Joey Votto. Like I look up to this guy. Like he's a professional, one of the better hitters that I saw in the big leagues. Like the way he approached the bats, the adjustments that he made. I mean, go look at Joey throughout his career. Like you're going to see different setups. You're going to see different approaches because he understands the ebbs and flows of the game, and he wants to be good. Like in his mind, that's all that matters. He wants to be great, and he is great.
He is.
He's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Like, so I love the fact that he said, I need to earn my way with this team. I don't want to be the reason that this win streak comes to an end. I don't think I should just be in this lineup because I'm Joey Votto. Like I need to produce. And he liked it. He said, he says, I feel like I'm a rookie again getting called up. Like there's no better baseball, or there's no other baseball that I want to play other than the type where we're winning games and I have to prove myself. And that's so true, man. Like when you feel like I got to keep up, the motivation just comes. And not that he needs it. He's been doing it for so long. But to hear him talk about that pregame, and then he goes on Scott Van Pelt after the game and gives another great interview about that, and the performance and everything. It really, I mean, that stole the show for this series. Him coming back and being around all these young guys. We talk about all the rookies that have come up and done well. Like, you know what they need? Like, they're gonna need a guy like Joey Votto that helps them. Like when they lose a game and things start to like go down a little bit, they start to come back down to the surface. Joey Votto is going to be there and say, look, this is how you handle it. This is what you got to do. It's so important to have that. Like you can run off when you're winning and you're hitting and everything's good. It is easy to be a big leaguer. It's so fun. You show up and man, it just seems like this is it. This is the big leagues, but you're going to get smacked. You're going to come down to life. And to have someone like Joey Votto there, you can't pay enough for something like that. So this team they're so fun to watch. I'm going to talk about Friedl coming up here in a little bit. And you're right. They be hitting all of them.
I'm fully on the Votto bus, especially where he's at right now. Like, dude, I can't tell you. There's a team I follow. I won't name any names, that they're veteran laden, and they the veterans don't come in with that attitude. It's very much it's baseball and stay the course. And don't get me wrong.
Yankees.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Like, I know that Joey Votto doesn't have an 0 for 4 and think, okay, I'm out of baseball. Like, no, it's a brutal sport. I get it. But to hear him come in with that on a team full of kids, one of the teams I follow, they don't have that attitude. So it was cool to hear that. And my closing notes on Cincinnati, your boy Andrew Abbott goes 6 innings, 10 Ks, 3 earned runs. So for him, like a bad start. But again, all these kids they're calling up. And then something I'd like on our sheet, Dalton highlights the star performers of each game. And, if you check out a Brave series, you'll see Ronald Acuna Jr.'s name 3 times and then some Albies, also whoever. All 7 of the Reds' names listed are different. Votto, Senzel, Friedl, De La Cruz, Benson, Fraley, Stevenson. Okay, there is De La Cruz twice, so that's on me. But that's without mentioning McClain or Jonathan India. Like, these guys are performing, and that's kind of what it's all about.
26 come from behind victories in 2023. Means a couple different things.
Yeah.
Means you do have timely hitting. Means you're getting guys on base late in the games against the bullpen. It also means your bullpen is doing their job.
And reminder, Rockies, you guys have a solution. He has fantastic hair, and he's killing it at AAA right now. 866 OPS. So
also a guy that wants to be in your front office. He's got great ideas about lineups, just have as many good batters as possible. And then on the pitching side, let's just keep runners off the base and don't give up homers.
Yeah. Simple game.
That's it. Wait, hold on. On that note.
Okay.
We just have to branch off real quick here because I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this. Farhan Zaidi, the guy that runs the Giants, who's been, an incredible executive by many standards in the big leagues. That was like a point of emphasis that like people like, oh my gosh, Farhan has the best ideas. He just wants major league average or above average at every position. Like what?
Yeah,
that's
man.
it. To be considered a great executive, you just got to try to put the best players at every position. Does that mean like if there's one of those like grids where it's like you have $15 to construct your team, you just don't go for the $5 guys. You just go for, like all $3 guys. That's it. That's all it takes.
Trev, the people, you rarely run into a person that you're like, oh my God, you're at another level than me. And that's, I think, 29 of the MLB front offices. Like, get the good players.
A lot of these teams keep trying out bad players.
You know what? How about no weaknesses on the team? Holy shit.
Don't have something they can fully expose.
Oh, boy.
Trev, Cardinals, Nationals, I don't have too much. I'm excited to see them go abroad, and obviously the story of the Cardinals has been a big one for the year. They get some big offensive games, but these are the 2 worst teams in the National League, so I'm kind of out.
AL it is, baby.
Let's talk. Oh, Braves, Phillies.
Oh, yeah.
Braves are a wagon.
Braves are a wagon. Spencer Strider, I challenged him. I didn't challenge him. I said, hey, let's check out Spencer Strider against the Phillies. He's been absolutely dominant against them, except that one playoff game, but he was coming back from an injury, got lit up. That was the Rhys Hoskins, throw your fucking bat at the ground. Do you remember that? Like, that kind of gets me. There's blood flow just thinking about that at bat because I was so happy for him, and you could just tell, like, how much that meant to him, and I miss Rhys Hoskins.
Yeah.
I miss that guy a lot. He's really fun to watch. So he does his job. Ranger Suarez matches him, and then you get Bryce Elder and Aaron Nola, and they go up toe-to-toe against each other. But it ends up Braves take both. They had the one game postponed. We had the Schwarber error like you talked about. And, yeah, I mean, a tale of 2 teams. Braves win these games with the good starting pitching, and the Phillies don't. I expect this to be I love this matchup of teams. I think it's so fun. I hope we get it in the playoffs again, where like it really, really matters.
Can I tell you something insane? Bryce Elder throws 7 shut piece. Didn't get I don't think he was listed on the standout performance, like potential guys.
I was looking for him.
Which is...
So that's on you, Dalton. That's on you.
Okay, so this turned into shots fired at Dalton. It's also just not shocking or surprising. He is team best 90 innings. He's been the ace for the Braves this year.
Yes.
A year after they came off of Kyle Wright winning the 97 Cy Young, like a Max Fried. They're a ridiculous franchise, man, in the best way possible. You know what else is ridiculous, Trev? I'm going to rearrange this right now because I'm excited. Bird dogs. You know why? I'm wearing them right now.
I wore them yesterday at C. Rose read the ad.
I am full-blown bird dogging it right now, and why? Because I'm traveling. I'm going to Nashville. Wedding season.
Oh,
you're a baseball fan. Oh, nice to meet you. They're stretch khaki shorts designed to fit slimmer through the thigh and leg, giving you a truly sculpted look. They're so comfy. I'm wearing them right now. If you want to put... They've got a liner in there, so I think it's kind of up to you if you want to throw on a layer under that. I think it's kind of whatever you like. So if you're running low on...
I'd wear underwear.
If you're running low on laundry day, bird dogs can be a nice little play there. The wedding I'm going to is a lot of St. Louis people. So Jess asked me how are the Cardinals doing this year,
Ooh.
And I was like, you might want to get out of that combo, Jess. That combo might not be for you.
People are going to be really excited for you to not bring up baseball.
Yeah, she's like, I can do that. You should go to birddogs.com/talkin, and what you'll get is a free Yeti style tumbler with your order. birddogs.com/talkin, free Yeti style tumbler, so your legs will be comfy. And your drink will be comfy with Bird Dogs. Let's do some AL. It's a light AL.
Hit it.
Which works on a Friday, too. Trev, we're heading out to beautiful Minnesota, where your Twins hosted my Red Sox. And Sox Kid, they come out. They win the first 2. James Paxton drops it on him. Cutter Crawford. Meanwhile, the offense is putting up almost double-digit runs. Yoshida, Turner, Arroyo 5-hit day. Durant, sure. That Sox lineup when they bang. But the Twins come back. Max Kepler. Julian. Do you hit the J in Julian? I guess I'll ask our broadcaster that. And how about Joe Ryan? I don't know who Trev picked out as his standout, but I thought it would be Joe Ryan. Hell, it could have been Buck Daddy with his 2 homers that were over 460 feet. Cheese and biscuits. These teams split 2. Pardon my French. Rangers take 2 out of 3 from the White Sox. ATO. And that's obvious. Heendog with a little Josh Young, that thick neck. They slid him up in the lineup, Trev. They flipped him and Nate Lowe. You be hitting, and that's what you get. I didn't like what your fingers just did. Jonah Heim keeps going. Zeke Duran, man, I love this team. They bang. Corey Seager is on fire. Man, Texas Rangers are so good. White Sox game, they win. Dylan Cease. Your guy Remillard, he's back at it. Sure. We got some blocking the plate stuff. Really interested to get some more thoughts on that. Tigers take 2 out of 3 from the Royals. Big series. BBD was locked in on it, so he'll tell you what happened. Huge series there. Mariners versus the Yankees. Yankees take 2 out of 3. This was a little bit of a mid-off. Yankees pitching actually was really good in the first 2 games. How about your boy Goofy Garrett Cole now? Having fun, wagging his finger, throwing balls to the backstop on purpose? Who is this guy? And then the kid, Johnny Brito, shuts him out the next day. Billy McKinney is putting on a journeyman clinic for the Yanks. And then Seattle blows them out in the final game. They're up 10-0 at one point. IKF pitches and homers. Whoops. Seattle, excited to see you guys soon, if you know what I mean. Guard Dogs, they sweep Oakland. Okay. That's really good for the record, and that's what you're supposed to do with this team. They took the first one in extras, and both of these games were really good action, kind of intense. Guardians fighting for their season a little bit, and they end up getting the dub. Josh Naylor, brothers Naylor, at it for the Guardians. Mild Flaw has a big game on the final day. Big sweep for the Guardians. They needed that. Rays and Orioles, they end up splitting two. You know Aaron Hicks had a big series. You know Randy Arozarena had a big series. The two best to ever do it. Trev, the conversation comes mostly off the field, way off the field, as star shortstop Wander Franco told, hey, why don't you sit this one out? Interesting. That is what happened in the American League. Rays stay on top, 52-26. 4.5 games up on the Baltimore Orioles, 45-28. God, that's a good record. Yankees are 9.5 back of first place. Blue Jays are a half game back of the Yankees. Sox, 2 games above 500 in last place, which means we have full standings, AL through AL Central again. The Twins are 500 atop the division. The Cleveland Guardians are a game back, Trevor Plouffe. Very interesting. Detroit Tigers exist. White Sox, a bit of the same. Kansas City Royals, 21-54. Texas Rangers are atop the West at 46-28. Houston's 5.5 back with the Halos a half game behind them, so they're kind of neck and neck. Mariners a game below 500, and the Oakland Athletics are down there. Cron-wise, Trev, we're starting with your Twinkies. What do you have from this series? I wasn't too locked in on my Sox.
I think, like you said, it's a light AL. I have this thing. It's like an Apple Pencil.
That?
I'm never going to use it.
Okay.
It's just a prop for me to play with.
Okay. I get that.
Sometimes
Anyways,
it's perfect.
It's a light AL. So I think we're going to talk about a few different hot topics instead of kind of like going through all the series here. I mean, yeah, the Twins, Red Sox, split the series. You do say the Jay and Julian. He's a Canadian dude. You love him. English is his second language. You got to love that from the Canadian. He's a Frenchman. You know I love the Frenchman.
Yeah, you are.
You love.
I am a Frenchman.
Yeah.
Yes, I love myself. You have to love yourself. Remember that, people. Not much to do with this story. Buxton started to hit a little bit. The Red Sox obviously came out pretty strong offensively the first 2 games. James Paxton, nice little start there. Cutter Crawford, nice little start. He's got a weird arm action, doesn't he? It's real short. Kind of reminds me of Nathan Eovaldi, which is a nice comparison there.
Okay.
One sad note, we saw Corey Kluber come in at the end of these games. And it's just, kind of pitching in like low leverage situations. I don't love that for the Klubot, man. Like in my mind, I faced him when he was on top of the world. So it's a little interesting to see him back there. I get it. But that's something that caught my eye. Go Joe Ryan, first shutout, complete game shutout in like 5 years. I think you probably mentioned that. He looked great. Twins needed that big time to get back to 500. When I watch the Red Sox, can I tell you something?
Sure.
They scare me. Like they can hit.
It's an intimidating lineup.
They can come out and score runs with the best of them. I know I just said that on the heels of a Joe Ryan shutout, but like that's going to happen from time to time. It's a good team. I don't know. I for some reason I don't think this way about a lot of teams that are at the bottom of a division. I know they're above 500, better than the Twins. But I just feel like this team has a real run in them at some point.
Trev,
could be wrong.
It's kind of why the Yankees are a bad matchup for the Sox. The Red Sox are 5-1 against the Yankees this year, and it's because the Yankees can't score with them right now. Like the Red Sox will lose 7-5 games because sometimes their pitching will let them down, but Red Sox aren't going to lose a lot of 2-1s because their offense is going to score. They do feel dangerous. I mentioned, different guys. I mentioned the Reds have different guys that can go for you. The Sox have different guys that can go for you, and you know their names a little better. Some of them you don't. I mean, Casas with a big day at the office, Christian Arroyo 5-hit day, but like the Sox have always been able to bang. It's how much they pitch, and they end up splitting with the Twins. Trev, can I ask you another Twins quick hitter? Because I've seen this on the internet. When Pablo Lopez was traded for Arias, everyone kind of did you go out and get a young pitcher when you can go get a young, good pitcher. Like, that's kind of, them's the rules, right? Marlins always have this depth. I guess I wouldn't say any buyer's remorse on Lopez, although he's fallen off a little bit. But if you could go back and knowing where, I'm not saying Arias hits 400, but this guy won a batting title and what the Twins offense has been, do you think there's any, maybe rethinking it just a little?
I don't think so. Obviously, the 400 will enter your mind, but he really didn't have a position. He was playing a little bit of first base. They have second baseman. They have Polanco when he's healthy. They really like Eddie Julian. So I think that was kind of the thought process. Like, we have guys that are going to play these positions. We love Luis Arias, but you're dealing from a position of strength essentially to get back an area that you need. And Pablo Lopez was great at the beginning of the year. I think he's fine. Like, I love who he is as a pitcher, the way he prepares, and I like his stuff. His pitch mix is good. He has fallen off since the beginning of the season, but I don't think so. I think it was the right move. I still do.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's one of those things that, again, you can't overthink it because it's baseball. You needed pitching. You went out and got a pitcher. But yeah, I wonder if they could, if you keep a rise and instead of signing like a Joey Gallo, you sign a 1-year pitcher. But it's a dangerous game. Who knows if they have the same season? I don't know. Trev, the story. No one's surprised the Rangers took 2 out of 3 from the White Sox, but blocking the plate, and we saw this a couple times this week, dude. I don't know anymore, man. I'm in a really weird spot with it because I clearly I don't know ball. I don't manage the Yankees, but I don't.
Oh, that one that's cutting you deep. Just let that one go. Let that one go.
I mean,
he didn't mean it that way.
I'm a little self-deprecating humor, Trev. And I defended Booney on it. Dude, I have no idea what we're doing with the block and the plate because none of them look like blocking the plate to me. So I
mean, we didn't really talk about the Gary Sanchez one.
Yeah.
I was in the Giants Padres series. That one's interesting because there is a caveat in the rule. Like, if the runner's out, like, the umpire has discretion. If he's out by a lot, the umpire has discretion. That's not blocking the plate. Padres fans were sending me screenshots. You see, Gary actually set up in fair territory, and then he moved his feet. Well, it's like, dude, he did not give him a lane before he had the ball. I was like, you could call no blocking the plate because I think it was Yaz or who, I don't know who was running. It was Sable, my boy Blake. He was out by so much, so the umpire could have just said, no, this is stupid.
Right.
But he was directly in the running lane without the ball.
When you see where Sable slid, you're like, oh, wow. Yeah, you're almost nowhere near the plate. That I get that, but the ball does beat him by so much.
That one's back and forth. It's difficult.
That one confuses me. This one with Heim, I got nothing.
That was bad. I don't understand that at all. That was more plate given up than I've seen any catcher give up before. Like, usually it looks like this pencil. When you're sliding in, you have this little sliver of white, and you're trying to touch the only base that isn't protruding from the ground. It's like a weird thing. They usually give you nothing. Heim gave the entire plate up, and that was called out. It's a rule that's obviously going to take some. They need to tinker with it a little bit or find a solution, because that's just one thing you don't want. As Major League Baseball, is people talking about your rules. Like, the rules should not really come into effect too often, where they're like, you're getting bashed for one. They're trying to clean. I mean, they've cleaned up. There's no more collisions at home plate. That's what they want.
Good.
I'm happy for that.
Great.
Because Gary Sanchez would have gotten blown up.
Yeah.
In the old days. And crisis averted because of this rule. So that's great, but we can't have games being decided because of something like this, where like fans are like, "What happened? What? I don't understand."
Yeah, and that gets. I don't know what the next step is. There needs to be a next step because then think of it the other. Let's say the Sable one gets called, out. Next time, does Blake Sable go in almost looking to like draw the foul like in basketball? Like does he just run into Gary because he's like, well, he's in the path, and then we're back to the original problem of like, okay, so now guys are running over catchers to prove they're in the way. I don't know, man.
If I was a runner, I would just start like altering my line and like going way outside the base. I'm like, oh shoot, man, I had no lane.
What the?
Hey, what is this?
Normally that sliver of white plate looks like Gandalf riding Shadowfax.
It looks
off
like
in the
his
distance.
Apple Pencil and then also Gandalf. Don't talk about Gandalf. There will be no Gandalf slander on this pod, and especially not when he's riding Shadowfax. Oh my god,
slander. It's okay. It's an emotional episode.
It is an emotional episode. Rangers are a wagon.
Yeah. They Beebs, this Royals Tiger series, what'd you say?
Zach Short, he's awesome.
He's had a really good year so far. Like
really
a 791 OPS, I believe, right?
Tigers have an all-star.
McKinstry.
Yeah.
He'll sneak in there. They got to have one by rule. So
let's get Zach Short to the all-star game.
Conversation for another day. Like, please don't do it right now. But like, Javi, what's up since you got there, man?
Yeah.
Don't do it right now. Don't do the voice.
Yeah.
What's the voice?
It's from a show, BBD show.
Well, now you have to do it because I don't know what the heck you're talking about.
No, that's the line.
You're gonna open up a whole can of worms.
That's the line from. So yeah, Kerry Carpenter, Zach Short, hot. That's what I have.
How about this? Quickly, a couple relievers on the move for the Royals. Aroldis Chapman, Scott Barlow.
Yeah. No, there will be a reliever market, and again, Chapman. I've referenced it a couple ups. Like, it's a fun game to play. Like he's got a lot of landing spots. It's funny what a little half season refresh can do to you. Dodgers could use bullpen. Texas Rangers could use bullpen. Aroldis Chapman's going to end up on one of the best teams in the league, I think.
Well, when you're left-handed and like 6'8" and throw 100 miles an hour, people are going to want you on the team.
Yeah.
Even with the baggage that you carry. Speaking of baggage, what's up, Blitzball 4? Can't wait to freaking dice you up.
We filmed something with your boy Jeff Passan yesterday at the warehouse.
Weird. I did not like it. Sorry, Jeff. A suit at the warehouse.
Yeah.
I mean, the juxtaposition, great word.
Great word.
Threw me off a little bit. Maybe I really like it. I like it so much that it's brought me to the other side where I'm like, what?
Warehouse's first suit.
Trev, no, you're all over it at the end there because we were like, wait, is Passan gonna come in like a t-shirt and joggers? Like, and then when he showed up in a suit, I think all of us wanted him to not be in a suit, and then when he was, we were like, nice. Like
he was always gonna. We
got Jeff Passan. We got Jeff Passan. That'll be some good warehouse content coming soon.
Trev, how many strikeouts do you have against Aroldis Chapman?
Ooh, gosh, I don't know. I don't think I faced him too much.
It's not the total at bats is not very many. You've
never give me the total at bats.
You've never struck out against him.
No need.
Yes,
soft throwing lefty.
3 ABs. Pop up to second. Pop up to first. Ground out to second.
They probably hit him hard. Just the launch angle wasn't there. It's fine.
Yeah, a hair above. You're there.
Trev, my Yanks took 2 out of 3 from the Mariners. I know Mariners lineup has been struggling strikeouts. They score 3 runs in the first 2 games. Yankees, I mean, they win them, and the pitching's powerful, and Cole's having a party out there. But in the last game, they get lit up, and it's kind of this realization at the end of the series that the Yankees, they never scored more than 4 runs in a game. So they're, they welcome Texas to town this weekend. That offense will put up runs. So again, the offense is the challenge right now. The pitching has been good. So I don't know if you got any Yanks, Mariners, or Cole. Wagon.
I got a question, about Cole.
Yeah,
I mean,
please.
I honestly didn't have a problem with how he handled that situation. The only thing I will say, and I'm asking you if anything happened the following day, like when you throw a ball like that and you send a message, I know it was way up and he probably thought about it before, like I need to send a message, but I don't want to hit this guy because one, I'll put him on base, and two, retaliation could be coming. Was there anything the following day, any up and in pitches or anything like that? Because that's the one thing I thought of.
No, and I was thinking the same thing, right? Like everything that happened was fine, and like if you haven't been following Garrett Cole, which if you're not a Yankee fan, you shouldn't really be. You just see some of the clips and stuff. He's become like a silly, confident guy, and like he had a joke lined up post game, and he's laughing on the mound. Like it's very interesting, and it's been fun. Like obviously we're close to the situation, but it's been fun. That that was my concern too. Like, are we gonna end up in a pissed off fest just because Cole, in a way, showed up the 9-hitter after the 9-hitter was trying to mess with him? The thing that was funny, Caballero the next day, and again, I don't really know what this is. Jimmy dug in and he thinks it's to keep the rest of their lineup together. Caballero hadn't batted leadoff all year, and then they batted him leadoff that next game. So in my head, I think there was just a little bit of like, hey, remember this guy from yesterday? Well, guess what? You didn't like him? He's leading off now. So no, luckily there was really no like retaliation. No.
I mean, probably the most extra at bats I've seen all year was him against Cole. The stuff he was doing.
Oh yeah.
Was just like,
I mean,
my gosh, bro.
It was some good baseball. Some good baseball both ways. If you haven't seen,
Cole gave like the dab, like,
yeah. Oh, he was frustrated. In a way, Caballero like won the head game, but
he did go 1 for 3, didn't he? That little broken bat single.
Yeah,
Sorry about it.
The hit's a Storielli hit, if I've got a way to label it. Interested to see this weekend. Mariners, you guys got to go start winning games. Another team that we would label that, they sweep the series that you have to sweep the series against. Guardians sweep Oakland. They're hitting now. Josh Naylor's putting together some big stuff. His baby bro gets his first hit on a hit and run. That was really cool to see. I don't know. They beat Oakland. That's kind of my piece on it.
Yeah, it's scaring me as a Twins fan a little bit here. They're their offense is starting to go. Josh Bell has picked it up. I love that. Bo Naylor 0 for 19 to start the career.
Tough.
Finally gets the knock, and that's such a cool moment to see the brothers kind of like in the same game and Josh cheering. That was awesome. But Cleveland took care of business against the A's. You know how we do in these series. We give them snaps, took care of business. 1 game back right now.
I think there's going to be a funny moment. They called up top prospect Gavin Williams, another young arm in that rotation. They called up Bo Naylor. I think we're going to see Cleveland around July 1st sitting 500 and being like, okay, like you guys weren't really a part of the conversation and had a bad start to the year, and now you're in an okay spot. That I still my Cleveland 86.5 wins over isn't dead yet.
11 times we've said, hey, congrats, you swept the A's.
Jeez.
11 times. It's June 23rd, people.
Trev, the last topic in the American League, like I mentioned, Birds and Rays, they split to Aaron Hicks is back to God mode. Taj,
do you want to know the slash line right now? Because I have it right here.
Sure, Trev.
321, 424, 571 for a 996 OPS, 18 games with the Orioles, 3 homers, 10 RBIs, 2 stolen bags.
Man, if Yankees could use a switch hitting left field.
But they're heavy. Those pinstripes are so heavy.
I got to shave again.
Now his Birds, he's light as a feather.
Nice, Trev. Nice.
Son of a gun, dude. I mean, hey, shout out Baltimore first game. Glasnow, I think they put up 6 runs in the first 2 innings. Hicks with the homer. Your guy Santander with the homer. They're up 7-0 in the 5th, and then the Rays actually made it the game. I think Margot got it to 7-6 before Hicks had another hit.
Yeah, Bautista had to come in. Bautista came in for a 4-out save. Like that's
that's what the Rays do. And in that game, because we're going to talk about this real quickly, I think Franco had another ball, little blooper down the left field line. Like with his speed, 100% should have been on second base. It kind of gets away. They drop it. Standing on first base.
Yeah, so let's do the whole Wander thing because he gets benched, and even a step further from that you mentioned, Trev, he's told to stay home, which is like,
I think that's what I read.
Okay,
They said he
we're not
was
100 on
gone.
that then.
Well, no, in the article on MLB.com, he said he left well before the game and did not speak to reporters.
Okay.
So to me, doesn't that mean he just went home, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's not.
Like, that's different, bro. That's different than saying you're benched. Come root for your teammates. They said, nah, bro. Take it to the house.
When I've watched Wander this year, it is an interesting mental exercise. There's, he goes and gets balls from the shortstop position. Some of those pop-ups in foul territory are kind of fair that he goes out and gets in left field, and you're like, wow, dude, you are a freak. You see him beat one out to first. You're like, wow, you have crazy speed. There was a couple, a couple choppers that you're like, I wonder if Wander's going to make this interesting. And then the camera pans to first, and he's already chopping his steps down, and you're like, oh, that doesn't add up. So that was interesting to me, and I guess there's a pattern of that while also having some locker room not being a guy. I don't know.
Well, he's come in the dugout a few times, and you can be pissed, but you can't be throwing your equipment around your teammates. It's just like it's faux pas. You can get somebody hurt. It's just bad looks. Go in the tunnel, do what you got to do. Like, dude, I mean, I even saw Joe Mauer, who never gets frustrated, bang up some equipment, but he would go down in the tunnel. So you'd never know it. But I just let his little secret out. Sorry, Joe Mauer, about that. I'll see you in August at your lake house. With Wander, I had oh God, I can relate things back to me because I'm a narcissist, apparently. Yes. I played tackle football growing up, Pop Warner. And, in football, you run a lot and you're doing push-ups. And the first couple of days I got on the team, I'm giving max effort. I'm going. And quickly realized, like, oh, shit, like it's a lot of running. I'm pretty tired now. And so about the third day, I dial it back a little bit. I'm not going 100%. I'm going like 75 because I'm like, dude, I got to get through this practice. I remember till this day a coach saying, Trev, you already showed us what you can do. Give us that effort every single time. Don't dial it back. So when you have it, as Wander Franco has it, he has the speed, he has the makeup to be a great player. That's why they gave him $182 million. You got to show it consistently. If you just pick and choose your spots, you're going to get benched, especially early on in your career when they're trying to set a precedent, send a message. Like, look, the Rays are doing great. I love this from Cash, and I don't know if it came from the front office as well. I love it. They're on top of the division. They're playing the best baseball. They're on top of all of baseball with their record. And they said, you know what? Let's make it a point right now to show our roster that you have to continue to give the effort every single day. Doesn't matter who you are. I think it's a great message. It's going to set up Wander, for his future, letting him know, like, you kind of got to go in and do it. We gave you this money, man. So you have, like, that's a responsibility of yours. Honestly, if it was some guy that they didn't give all that money to, I don't know if the situation would be the same. But for the Rays to pan out that much money, they're relying on him to be like the guy, the example setter. So I'm okay with the situation, man. And Cash came out and just like straight up said, this is why we're doing it.
It felt like some Rays, that high T we reference a lot. Like, hey, we can do this. Like, and I guess that's where, and you can't tell this to someone when they're that age because you don't know it yet. But you're 22, man. And like, dude, that's young. I say it
so young.
I say it in the coolest way. Like, I'm very jealous of 22 and like what I was doing then, and how you can bounce back, and how some things you think in life are real just aren't real yet. But you don't know that until you're like 28. I think I hope Wander takes this the right way. Like, first place team, you might be the MVP of that first place team. And yeah, I mean, with how the Rays organization is set up, I'd expect it to go swimmingly, because this is something you'd rather nip in the bud than, let's say, the baby birds get hot in August and they're on your ass, and Wander's having some tough hustle moments or something. You don't want to do it then, right? Like, that's something you noted out when who got benched earlier this year, and you were like, would you have done it if it was like a tied game? Like,
who was it?
It's a lot easier to do it as the Rays, like, before the game. Let's get ahead of it. We've got a lead in the East. Like, I think they timed it and did everything well.
And aren't they playing the Royals? Right?
Who's coming up?
So I think they're playing the Royals. So okay.
That's a good calculation then. Yeah. Who got benched? Who are we blanking on right now? What's that?
Sound off in the comments.
Sound off.
Oh,
that's going to make me mad because we've been laughing at that.
Give me some context again.
Someone got pulled. I think they were on a bad team.
Javi got benched earlier this year.
Was it Javi? Yeah, it was Javi.
Yeah.
It was Javi. And the Tigers went on a little win streak, and it was...
Oh, yeah.
I think
he came back and went...
Was good.
He got benched in a blowout, and you were like, hey, if this was a tied game, I don't think Javi gets benched.
Yes, yes.
But that's my manager, AJ Hinch.
Oh, my God.
The IL is brought to you by Rhone, R-H-O-N-E. I told this story the other day. I wear a lot of different outfits at work. It's a weird thing I have. I went home wearing a Rhone shirt Jess hadn't seen before, and she gave the,
and then what happened?
That fits in all the right places.
What happened after that?
She said, I'm going to bed. And so I tried.
And you said, that's fine. That's fine.
I said, all right, I'm going to watch some ball.
You probably texted me, yeah.
Wake up in the morning and see where everyone's at. Rhone, the commuter collection, most comfortable, breathable, flexible set of products known to man. Hello.
What?
Hello. I've got an option for tonight's, what's it, the intro party, the welcome party, that I've got a Rhone shirt that might come into play. Anti-odor.
You're flying to Nashville tonight, and you're wearing Rhone tonight.
4 p.m. flight.
Hot.
See it, LGA. This is another anti-odor technology, and I'm starting to see why these products are finding me. But guess what? That's where you want to be. Comfortable pants, dress shirts, Q-zips. And if you head to Rhone, RHONE.com/baseball, promo code baseball, you'll save 20% off your entire order. Hello. Rhone.com/baseball, code baseball, link in the description. Load up. Load up. Load up.
Okay.
In Trev's Interleague, the Miami Marlins and the Toronto Blue Jays. Ooh, here's a fun matchup in the Marlins. Baby girl put it on me. 11-0 in that first game. Luis Arraez 5 for 5 to get back over 500. These fish, right? Blue Jays, they win the next two. A pitcher's duel. Kikuchi versus Yuri Perez. How fun is that? But Matt Chapman, 2 for 3. No thank you. They win that 2-0. And then Gossman and the fellas get it done on the final day. Blue Jays win a series over a good team. The Houston Astros, similar song here. Mets, they win the first game 11-1. Scherzer drops it on them. 8 innings. Are the Mets about to click? No, man. Astros have the fortitude to win by that in game 2. Verlander versus Framber, by the way. And then we got a crazy one on the last day, 10-8. Houston, just a little stronger. Breggy Smalls with the 3-hit day. Houston wins 2 out of 3. Dodgers, broomsticks, a 2-game set over the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. What I like here, both games were 2-0. How about it? How's your pitching? Kershaw and Detmers go toe-to-toe. Couple South. Oh, Trev's giving me the shush. He might talk about that. And then a little Dodgers opener day works out for them. Brewstar against Shohei. Frederick and Miguel Vargas clip him for a home run. That's what happened in the IL. Tight IL.
I shushed you because somebody might be getting an award from that Angels-Dodgers series.
Really?
Yes.
Somebody's girl is in my hot tub. Shaking.
Oh, I love a hot tub, bro.
Yeah,
for real,
yeah.
To me, there's not much better than getting in a hot tub.
Ooh, interesting.
Hot summer day, I'll do a hot tub. Cold winter night, I'll do a hot tub. Raining, oh, you bet I'll do a hot tub when it's raining.
I'll go. I won't go hot with hot. Like when in St. Lucia, they had like a warm hot tub, like it wasn't super hot, but that was still nice.
That's not a hot tub.
No, I mean it was hot. It wasn't cold. It just wasn't hot. So like I would almost, because you're comfy in there. Okay.
You know what the government does, bro?
Here we go.
You can.
Hell yeah. Tell them the truth, dude. Tell them the fucking truth.
I'm a pool man. You guys know that, right?
Yeah.
You can only set your spa temp to 104 degrees or below. 104 is not hot enough for me. Give me 106. But you can't because the government is ruining my life.
Do you think there's a market for like juicing up hot tubs so they can get to 115?
Well, you don't want to go that hot. That's dangerous. But we can kick it up a couple notches here, people.
104 is for the average person. Trevor Plouffe.
Give me 106. I just want 106.
Okay. I can get you that.
I don't think you can.
You know whose hot tub's going to go up to 106? Matt Staff's in the new house. Tell you that much.
Oh my gosh. You have no idea. Okay.
Trev, we'll cover the LA festival later, it sounds like. I don't have much on Jays. Marlins. Actually, I will say I was impressed. After the Jays got punched in the mouth in the first game, I kind of did damn, Jays, you're really going to do this? So I'm pretty impressed that they came back and they won those next 2 games. They outlasted Yuri Perez, and he looks amazing again. And then Mets Houston, I mean, that's messy in its own way. That I'm kind of good, so whatever you need or want in those.
Well, the first day was the Luis Arraez day, 5 for 5. He's slapping John Jay on the chest. John Jay has bruises. He sent me pictures of his bare chest. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't, but I'm imagining that he did. Following day, 2 studs on the mound, Perez and Kikuchi. Kikuchi does it, matches Perez. Bullpen comes and does their thing. That was nice for them. Like you mentioned, after getting 11-0, you win 2-0. You gotta love that. And then Chappie does his thing in the last game, 6-3. Sandy, man, another kind of ho-hum start. It's so interesting to me, the season that he's had. Pitch clock, shift, all those different things come into play. I believe it could also be some of these massive seasons worth of innings catching up.
Yeah.
Although his stuff looks freaking good, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Blue Jays win 2 out of 3. I like this Blue Jays team a lot. I've told you guys that before. Yeah. I think that they have everything you need to. If you get them in a playoff series, watch out, man. They got guys that can twirl the pill a little bit, and they got guys that can bang. Bullpen, they have some guys. I think that will be an area that they're going to look to address. But they're a fun team to watch, and the Marlins, they're just right there. They're right there.
Jays have a feeling that they could, in October, they could easily have a Phillies-esque run, right? They have so many dudes, but they got to do it. Mets-Astros, you want something there? I didn't have my pulse on this. It felt like Mets. Come on.
First 2 games, great pitching matchups. You got to love that. Scherzer kind of like finds himself, touches himself a little bit, if you will. 8 innings pitched, 1 run. Hunter Brown's interesting to me. I got some statistics of him.
Yeah.
He had 5 innings, 6 earned runs since May 2nd, since May. He made a start May 2nd. Up until now, that's 9 starts. 50 innings pitched, 26 earned runs. So he's got a 4.62 over those starts. And typically we know him as some guy that's going to be wheeling and dealing. So I'm curious to see if there's going to be any adjustments made on his part, pitch mix, all that different stuff right there. Then Verlander, Framber going toe-to-toe was awesome to see. Framber, what can you say about this guy that hasn't already been said? He's a guy.
Sneakily.
He turned into a guy just right in front of our faces. We've loved him the entire way, and he hasn't stopped one bit. Not one bit.
15 starts at 2.27, man. The leader in ERA plus. Framber Valdez, 99 innings. He's
Does Alex Bregman like us or not like us? That's the kind of like my only question about this series.
He loves us.
I think he hates us, but then he loves us.
I forgot when you guys were sexual tension texting.
That was one of the weirder moments. I'm happy that we connected that way.
Yeah.
Didn't expect it to happen.
You guys were in an area, I forget if I've mentioned this before here, and it's better if you know the other player in play here, but one night, I'm around Wander Franco age where I should get benched for some of my activities. Me and my buddy, we've had a couple, and there was some tension, and we texted each other like, "Are we about to fight or fuck, bro?" Like we got.
Oh my god! Well, and what happened? Which one did you choose?
That comes in the second half of the show. That we've got standout performers. Some Fuego, some awards, maybe some IL. This second half of the show is brought to you by the Farmer's Dog. Shout out the Farmer's Dog. Noodle.
Farmer's Dog is a goat.
I see what's going on.
Think about that.
Whoa. Whether you have a few weeks old puppy or an older doggo, you got to take care of them. Their health is what's important. It's what's important for us. It's what's important for them. And man, it's not just higher quality food, pre-portioned specifically for your dog based on their unique nutritional needs. You take a little quiz for your dog so they get the right food for them. Noodle loves it. He goes nuts. He gets that kind of crazy, intense dog look in his eye that I had kind of when that text message got sent. It doesn't matter if your dog is young or old. It's always the right time to begin investing in their health. Get 50% off your first box at thefarmersdog.com/JohnBoy. There's a link in the description. We just re-upped, and we're loaded up, and Noodle's loaded up. And Trev, I'm going to double down real quick. The last thing that we have to mention, and we can finish the rest of this show strong, All-Star Game. We're going out. We've already sold a bunch of tickets. We've sold all of our VIP, although there's a wait list. We might try to sneak some, but we want the VIP to be a real intimate experience. July 11th, Tuesday, the day of the All-Star Game. Trev, Beebs, Jolly Olive, Chris Rose, Old Man Dan Canobio. It's going to be a blast. Some rumors about Jess and Olivia being there. So we're going to do a live ref guess with the audience. There's going to be a couple different Jolly Olive games. It might be some jam content, so that'll either speak to you or not speak to you. We're going to do a live Talkin baseball. There's still a bunch of tickets left. We're doing the live show. You can get a ticket to that, or you can just come There's tickets to come watch the game. We'll be hanging out. It's always a friendly, awesome baseball crew. So there's a link for that as well. It's at Eventbrite. And tickets are limited, and we're starting to run up against it. But if you're out in Seattle for the All-Star game, make sure you do it. Trev.
2 things real quick. Farmer's Dog. My mom uses it for her dog.
Right.
Before we did ads for them, she loves it. She said her dog has lost weight, and he's not chewing grass anymore because his gut is healthy. When dogs' guts aren't healthy, they chew grass, they poop grass. It's weird. So that's alleviated that for her. So I love Farmer's Dog because it makes my mom happy.
Wow.
Happy mom, happy me. All-Star game. Great. My favorite event that we do all year. And that's better than Blitzball. It's better than any of the warehouse stuff. It's better than come out and seeing you guys in New York. I love the All-Star game. Not only is Olivia going to be there, but there's rumors of a lot of my Hidden Hills crew making their way to Seattle.
Whoa.
A lot of peeps.
PJ?
You know what? Maybe. I ain't paying for it. I'll tell you that much right now. Chris Rose doesn't pay me enough.
Standout
performances.
Trev, who's your standout? You referenced them earlier. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, so I have my guy TJ Friedl as my standout performer on Tuesday, June 20th, 5 days after my 37th birthday. 37 is the worst birthday of all time. There's nothing special about it whatsoever. I'm just happy I'm still in my 30s, not my 40s. He went 4 for 5 with a homer, 3 ribbies in a run. You know they won that game because they swept, because that's what they do. This guy, Friedl, we talk about the baby Reds all the time. These young guys coming up. Well, TJ's not exactly young. He's 27. He has had some experience in the show. All this guy does is hit. I'm looking at his splits right now. Overall, 320. You love that, right? We still like batting average.
Love batting average.
You don't have to not like batting average, people. It's still fun to reference. 320, and talk to any player. You got a 3 in your batting average, you happy. 380 OBP, 486 slugging. Quick math. Can you do it? 380 plus 486? No. 866. That was an even number. You could have done that really quickly. All of his splits are like that, Jake. Last 7 days, 899 OPS. Last 14 days, 841 OPS. Last 28 days, 884 OPS. Last 365, that's a year, 875 OPS. This guy be hitting. And he's doing it. And we talk about long lineups, and we talk about having these guys do their thing. And we talk about McLean and Spencer Steer and Ellie De La Cruz and Joey Votto coming back. And here's TJ Friedl just doing it. University of Reno, Nevada, where he's from Pennsylvania. I like the random ball players that just come out of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
That's a football state, people. But sometimes you get guys like TJ who said, I got to get out of here and go to Nevada, Reno. Not really sure how that happened, buddy. Doing it on the Reds. Unsung hero. Wanted to mention him. Shout out TJ.
So I just put myself through a little bit of a rigmarole. So when I filled in for you on Baseball Today, one of the 2 best baseball shows in the world.
Yes.
Chris Rose asked underrated Reds player. Or no, this was you and me. I'm sorry. This was when I filled in for Rosie, and you and me did the whole gambit. Like Matt McLean has an argument. There's so many guys. Spencer Steer, like Alexis Diaz, so many guys have stepped up for the Reds. That's what's made them unexpected NL Central leaders. Friedl leads the team in WAR, which that's crazy to think about. And the other thing that really got me going was, you're right, we look at 27 differently. We're like, 25 and 26 if you're new to the show, kind of. We give you the 27, we kind of expect you to be all systems go. He's only played 138 major league games. And he's got a career 800 OPS. So I was like, damn, okay, TJ Friedl, he's getting his opportunity now. Yes, you should mention him with the Reds. If you're a baseball savant person, do not look at TJ Friedl's page. And so now I've just been watching videos of TJ Friedl. He's got the big open stance. And hey, I guess some of the StatCast numbers aren't about it, but the results are. And he's got some steals. Sure. Why not?
StatCast gets you signed.
Yeah.
Results get you paid.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah. Think about that. Let that marinate a little bit. You know who's good on MLB Network? And I don't say this about a lot of people.
Okay.
I don't know why this just came to my mind. Jake Peavy.
Okay.
Never would have thought that. A lot of energy out of Jake.
Because isn't he like deep cut ranch guy? Like you think he likes being in the woods or he does like being in the woods and stuff?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does. Yeah.
No, it's funny though. Some of these guys like baseball too.
Hey, Jake Peavy, like back in the day, like when he was blowing 96, probably like the one guy you didn't want to face in the big leagues.
Nasty.
I don't know how I got there.
Fits, Trev.
Ooh.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe that's why I like him. He mentioned one time that when I'm in the lineup, the Twins lineup was so much better. It was Jake Lytics. He's like longer lineup.
Yeah.
Jake's.
How about that? Yumi and Peavy.
How did I get there? I don't know.
New John Boy Media show.
8 for 26. That's a 308 batting average. 4 doubles.
Thanks, Beavers.
I might audible. I thought for sure you were gonna go Joe Ryan. So you know what? I'll go Joe Ryan. Tell
the people who you were going to give it to before, because this is another guy that we need to talk
I was going to
about.
give it to Merrill Kelly. Him and Zach Gallen ended up with similar stat lines. Merrill Kelly, I think when a lot of people think of Merrill Kelly, they're like, okay, I don't know, random Diamondbacks pitcher. He's I think people maybe go back to Team USA this year when everyone was like, well, US, they're not bringing their studs. Like, Merrill Kelly's out there. Merrill Kelly, 15 starts at 2.9 ERA. He's been fantastic, the top of that Snakes rotation. Joe Ryan has a much better outing. 9 innings pitched, no earned runs, CG, SO. And Mike, remember when he got the opening day start and we were like, Twins, what's this about? Like, are you trying to just instill confidence in this young guy? No, man. Joe Ryan has been really good. Like you mentioned, Trevor, he is hot. Really, really good social media. 15 starts, a 2.98 ERA this year. The FIP is there. The WHIP is under 1. All the numbers are ace stuff. And my guy Jolly Olive made me laugh the other day because a reminder, he was traded for Nelson Cruz to the Rays.
Yep.
Rental Nelson Cruz was traded for Joe Ryan. We normally give the Rays all the credit. Don't trade with the Rays. They're going to tap into your guy. They got on that one.
And he's such a Rays guy too, which is nuts.
Oh,
he is a Rays guy to a T. But he never broke in the big leagues. He was in the minor leagues.
Yeah. But you know what he is now, Trev? Oh, Joe Ryan. I really like that Joe Ryan.
Here's a little tidbit. He ended up going to Cal State Northridge, CSUN, for a little spell. You know who else went to CSUN? And thank goodness they didn't overlap, or I wouldn't have the life I have. My sweet Olivia. Woo! Dodged a bullet there.
No comment. A lot of guys missed out, but I think a lot of these guys might be coming up on the next part of the show.
Dirt nasties on Fuego. That means I'm on fire, baby. Like Wago.
Tell him, Trev.
Got a piece of chalk that I don't know why I have a piece of chalk here. It's so weird. Listen, people, In Fuego is probably my favorite segment that we do because I like to just give a tip of the old ball cap to these dudes. In the series that they just played, we're starting off with a guy who David Ortiz said you should have took the 440. And Juan said, I was like, maybe I'll make more than that though, bro, in a place that I want to be. Juan Soto, 8 for 15, double, 2 homers, 3 RBI, 5 runs, 3 walks, 4-game set against San Francisco. The team didn't do well. Juan Soto did well. 13th career multi-homer game, and it was his first since joining the Padres. So shout to him. Buxton, who had been if we still had slump watch, Buxton would have been on slump watch prior to this series. Okay. Instead, he goes 5 for 14 against those Red Sox. He hits 3 homers. They go very far. 4 ribbies, 4 runs, 2 walks. And you mentioned this already. 2 460-foot homers in the same game. That's the first time that's happened since StatCast started tracking in 2015. A lot of talk about Buxton. He ain't playing center field. Everyone kind of knew that if you follow the Twins. He's not playing center field this year. I hope he ends up getting back out there at some point. I really do. I'll talk about that on baseball
Trev,
today.
is it just straight injury? Is it just straight injury risk? Is he not moving like he normally moves? Like, are the corners not in play? Like, give me. I don't have my head fully wrapped around it.
So he's been injury prone and kind of plays the game with reckless abandon in center field. So like there's that aspect of it, but also his knees, like when he like, so for instance, like the Dodgers series, my first series I covered when they were playing in LA, he ran a bunch. Dodgers can't throw anybody out. So they just kept running. He ran a bunch and he just gets sore.
Okay.
He's had some knee problems and issues. So like it just kind of catches up to him. And I think their thinking is if we have him out there in center field, like more often than not, we're going to be playing with a 75% Byron Buxton out there. And I think this like combination that they have, although like putting him at DH and not allowing other guys to go in and out is not ideal.
Right.
But, you know, if they have like Michael A. Taylor's been great in center field for them, and they're not missing a lot defensively because he's also a Gold Glover and can run things down. This is the formula that works for them. I hope he plays maybe next year, but I don't know, man.
Is there like a Buxton corner outfield formula that's there at all?
What
or
about
that's
Buxton like first base?
Oh,
I don't know. Something to clear up the DH would be nice. That's never going to happen. I don't know why I just said that. Don't fucking quote me, and then they're going to kick me out of being an analyst. Moving on, and this is your guy, New York Mets DH Daniel Vogelbach. Say his name like you do Joey Wendell.
No way, man. Are you kidding me? No,
it works though.
No. I'm not.
What, you think you can beat up Joey Wendell but not Daniel Vogelbach?
No,
Joey Wendell would fight you and you wouldn't be alive anymore.
I think
he fights dirty.
When I'm saying Joey Wendell or Joey Weimer at the plate, I think they want to be pests. Vogie doesn't want to be a pest. He wants to be the bear that like one paw swipe hits you.
5 for 10 in this series, a double, a homer, 6 ribbies, 1,400 OPS. He only played in 2 of the games, but he went 5 for 10. That's a lot of at-bats for 2 games. Okay, Dalton. For the 1 week, June 16th through June 22nd, the best to ever do it, Tampa Bay outfielder Randy Arozarena goes 11 for 24. A double, 2 homers, 9 ribbies, 4 runs, 2 hit by pitches for a 1.2. Love that for Randy. Bryce Elder, our guy, Peter Moylan's guy. Shout out Peter Moylan. Yeah. 2 games started, 13 innings pitched in those 2 games, 7 hits, only 1 earned run, 2 walks, 10 Ks. That's a .69 ERA, Beavers.
That's nice.
And a .69 whip, Beavers.
That's very nice.
Washington outfielder Lane Thomas goes 10 for 2. I like Lane Thomas. Every time I see this guy play, I'm like, I like how you play.
Yeah.
One of those guys for me.
Just a good ball.
Kind of like Brandon Drury before Brandon Drury got the bag. 10 for 28, 4 doubles, 3 homers, 6 ribbies, 6 runs, 1 hit by pitch, 1 stolen base for a 1.1. Currently, he's got a 10-game hitting streak. In 18 games in June, Jake. He's got a hit in 16 of them. Can you break that down in the fractions for me? 16 out of 18 goes down into what?
Oh, God, that would be 8. That would be 8 and 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that.
Attaboy. Where'd you go to college again? No one cares. 2 weeks. June 9th.
Better college.
June 20th.
Better college than you, bro.
June 9th through June 22nd. And this is no surprise here. I feel like we talk about this guy every Every 7 have been Fuego. It's Corey Seager. He plays shortstop for those Texas Rangers. 22 for 54. That's a 407 average. 7 dubs, 4 homers, 16 ribbies, 8 runs, 7 walks for a 1.2. The guy's worth every single penny that you gave him. I'm happy for him. By all accounts, just a wonderful person too. So I like that. Braxton Garrett. How about this guy? Talk about why is Miami doing what they're doing? Well, they got some pitchers over there. Braxton Garrett, this is also Dalton's darling. 3 games started, 18 and a third innings pitched, 10 hits, 2 earned runs, 30 Ks. Yeah. 18 and a third innings pitched, 30 Ks. That's a .98 ERA with a .66 whip. That is very nice. His 13.9 Ks per 9 is the second highest by a starting pitcher in the month of June. And I don't know who the first one is. Would have been nice to know that. Sound off in the comments. We talked about Kansas City relievers. I said Scott Barlow. I said Aroldis Chapman. Those guys could be on the move. How about Austin Cox? 5 games, 10 and a third innings pitched, no runs, 2 hits, 12 Ks. Now, if I said he pitched 10 and a third innings and he gave 0 runs, what's his ERA?
0.
Yes, that's good for a .48 whip. 6 appearances in his career. He's thrown 12 and a third innings pitch, and he's yet to allow a run so far. Yummy. That's how you do it. And my friends, that was who was in Fuego.
Snaps. Big old snaps. Randy Arozarena has 2 bolds this year on his baseball reference.
Ooh, can I guess?
Would you like to guess them?
For some reason, I want to say hit by pitch.
It is not.
Dang it, triples.
It is not.
I'm done.
So one is shocking in an impressive way, and then one's kind of a head tilt and a laugh. The head tilt and a laugh is caught stealing.
I know that one.
Randy has led in caught stealing the past 2. This season would make it 3.
6?
Are those all
6
like
already?
7.
Are those all like really recent? Didn't the Rays just have record for like not getting thrown out?
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, he's for the 3rd straight year he's leading.
No, those were early on in the season because when I went to the Rays, they were still on that streak and he had 5 already at that point. So those are early on.
So 3rd straight year leading in caught stealing, which is hilarious. The guy we call the greatest ever, and he is. Randy Arozarena leads the American League in on-base percentage. How about that? Like, we think of electric Randy, and normally that kind of ball player isn't your OBP guy. Leading the lead. And on-base percentage. So,
okay,
that's why he's the best to ever do it.
Gotta come my eye and all that. Corey Seager's 1-dotting. What the?
Yeah, there's I heard Corey Seager MVP.
I know he's behind a little on total games right now, but like
if he keeps going like this, he was a shift guy. I think that Texas Stadium, people have learned how to hit there. That lineup helps.
358 season batting.
He'll be in the short porch this weekend.
Would have been cool if you were like interested in that for 10 years.
On the IL, not the Interleague, the Injury League. Alejandro Kirk, my short, thick king. I miss you. Anthony Rendon. Damn, man. That's a guy. He's there sometimes. Hunter Green, like you mentioned, Trev. Kluber goes to the IL. That's, Brian Reynolds for Pittsburgh. 10-game loser, and he goes to the IL. That's scary. Other thick king, Willie Calhoun, and Reese McGuire for Boston, who's getting time behind the dish for them. But back from the aisle, this is the sunshine side of the bus from that meme. Lars Nootbaar, how about him? A little pepper shaker for you, Trev. Joey Votto, we've talked about that. Seth Lugo for San Diego. Harrison Bader for the Pinstripers. Brandon Belt, who'd been doing a lot of good things for Toronto. He comes back. So, which sets us up for the start of the weekend.
Awards!
Look at that.
Is Kelsey coming to the All-Star game?
I don't know. She's currently not coming with us, but maybe she's doing stuff. Well, I'll hit her up.
Okay. Can Casey come if she can't?
That would be a requirement.
Okay. My
French.
friends, am giving the Maverick Award.
Oh, God.
Spoiler alerts here.
Spoiler.
So, like, if you haven't seen Top Gun Maverick, just
it's too late.
pause. Yeah, I mean, how have you not? So
It's
maybe
too
you
late.
need to get spoiled a little bit here. We all know Captain Pete Mitchell, right?
Sure.
You know, the only pilot to shoot down 3 enemy planes in the last 40 years, highly decorated. What do they say? What's the word they keep using? Distinguished. Should be an admiral, even a senator. Okay. He's kind of an old school guy, but very, he still knows he's one of the best pilots around. He's flying these missions. He's kind of like where he wants to be, right?
Yeah.
He's where he wants to be. Well, he has a little bit of a hiccup, plane blows up that he's in, and it's a very expensive plane. He's going Mach 10.3 when it happens. He's a guy like that, right?
Yeah.
Well, they bring him in and they say, hey, before we terminate you from the Navy once and for all, we need you to go down and teach these kids how to fly this mission. Yeah. You have the real world experience to do it. At first, he's like, well, I don't know. I haven't flown an F-18 in a while, and I don't know who I trust. That's what he says. But they're like, no, bro, you're going to teach it. Like, don't worry about it. We got these young guns coming in. They're going to fly it with you. Or you're going to teach them, and they're going to fly it. And he's like, all right, I guess. Like, are these guys going to be able to, like, do what I can do? Probably not. Right. So all these young guys come in. We got Rooster, and we got Payback, and we got Hangman, and these guys, they're cocky, and they're good too, no doubt about it. The best that we have in our Navy, right? But eventually, it just is apparent that Maverick is the guy. Pete Mitchell ends up flying this mission. He brings the boys along with him because, of course, because it's Top Gun, and because he is the best.
He's the best.
You know who's Maverick for me right now in the show?
I know who it is, but I want to hear you say it.
Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah.
He is where he wants to be. We always talk about why, Clayton, why you keep signing these 1-year cheap deals with the Dodgers, bro? You can go get whatever you want. Why are you still a captain? You should be an admiral, maybe a senator. He's like, no, I'm where I'm supposed to be. Okay? Dodgers bringing all these young guns. I mean, Urias, I know he's a veteran. Young gun. Dustin May, Tony Gonsolin, Walker Buehler. These young studs, hey, they're going to carry the team. Clayton, you just do your thing, whatever. Where are they all at right now? They're all hurt. Clayton Kershaw is the only guy from the opening day starting rotation that's posting right now. And he is doing it he is doing it in like Cy Young fashion. He's still the best. He's the one to fly the mission, dude. Yeah. Have you looked at this guy's numbers? It's insane. He's 9-4 with a 2.7. He's leading that rotation. He's keeping them afloat because he's the guy. He's Pete Mitchell. He's where he needs to be. And every year, he just does it again and again. And next year, we're going to be like, oh, shit. He signed again for $17 million for the Dodgers. What's going on, bro? But he's where he wants to be, and he's the guy to fly the mission. And I'll tell you what, right now, if we're starting a playoff series, who's getting the ball first for me? Captain Pete Mitchell, a.k.a. Maverick, a.k.a. Clayton freaking Kershaw. Love you, bro. I don't know what else to say about this guy.
Trev, emotional episode.
79 career WAR. 79.
I wasn't sure where my award was going to go at first, and I considered him too. And I was going to give the whole Jakey speech how like I'm good for these 2 or 3 times a year where I just need to highlight like fucking Shohei because he's Shohei Ohtani, or Clayton Kershaw Because he's Clayton Kershaw, man. Like, it's unbelievable. And yeah, man, when you answer with him. Like, he's the guy in LA. He runs it. He's been running it. And he's still so good.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
It's a good one, Trev.
Thank you.
It's a good one, Trev.
I think him and Pete Mitchell have a lot in common. That's all I'm saying.
Trev, for my final award, I'm going to go, and I'm going to give the Hangman Award.
Oh.
The Hangman Award, because I'm a big fan of the movie Top Gun Maverick. If it's an option on the flight today, might put it on for a little bit. We'll see. But spoiler. That final mission, Hangman is kind of bummed out because he's not invited to the party. He thinks he's the best.
Wait, hold on. We're doing double Maverick Awards. I love this.
Yeah, man. I mean, I was
Themed
I was with you last night. Hangman not involved in the mission, bummed out. How do you handle that, right? Like,
He's hot too.
Very hot. That can go two different ways. Are you throwing stuff? Are you pissed off? How can you think they're better than me? He ends up getting involved. I guess I won't spoil everything, but he gets involved in a big way. And there's a team that I think is really good that they basically have a couple guys like this, and I think they just need to be highlighted. The Atlanta Braves, they've basically been the best team in the National League kind of throughout the year. And two of their top three leaders in WAR, like, okay, you know Ronald Acuna Jr. and that he's leading the way for MVP. Bryce Elder and Orlando Arcia, they didn't know if they were going to be invited on the mission this year. I saw and watched a lot of Vaughn Grisham this offseason. There's a lot of guys on the Braves starting pitching staff that got mentioned before Bryce Elder. Maybe 5, 6, 7. I don't know. And those two have been two of their top three players so far this year. Bryce Elder, 2.4 ERA. That is best on the team. Strider's a 3.9. Morton's a 3.7. Schuster's a 4.7. He has the most innings for the Braves rotation. The best ERA. He has joined the mission, and he's been as good as it gets. And Arcia, man, I know coming out, he won the job, and they kind of made it not a discussion. He had that little period of time where he got banged up. He's hitting .333, a .392 on base, and .871 OPS. There's Orlando Arcia all-star conversation going on right now. And man, these guys before the season, we didn't know how much a part of the mission they were going to be, but they are vital to the best team in the National League so far this year. So that's where I wanted to land today.
I'm glad you didn't go full spoiler, because I think that you just need to leave that alone. But yes, in any team that puts up a season like we think the Braves are going to put up, and they have been putting up, you have guys step up, guys that you weren't really counting on. Now, Orlando Arcia, I think what we all said was, hey, man, like this guy is going to be a solid defender, and he's going to have some big moments for you. He might have some ups and downs. I don't know if we said keep the seat warm. I think we said at that position where the Braves are at, he doesn't need to be special. Like he could just be a solid player that you want the ball hit to. But he's surpassed that, obviously. And then Elder, yes, other guys. We're relying on these guys to come and do it. And he quietly was like, how about I just be the best pitcher? How about I just save the day?
Yeah.
So love the award. Love the Double Mav award. And if you haven't seen it, let's go. What are you waiting for? That's all I'm saying.
It's a great point. It's a great movie. It's a great movie. Now I'm kind of hoping it's on my flight today. Trevor, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your baseball weekend. Enjoy your life weekend. And I hope whoever's
Jake,
listening to this as well.
There's one last thing we were going to do today.
Hello!
Yes.
Oh! Do it, Beebs. Hard.
If you want to read the matchups to me at the bottom of the sheet there.
Hard.
That's how it works.
I can do that, BBD. This is the first stimulator of the year?
It's
on
back,
the show,
baby.
yes. Done a few on socials.
Oh, my God. It's Friday, so we'll do the National League, and right now, Trevor, the Reds versus the Dodgers?
Woo!
Old man in the sea versus the kids?
You think I'm going to not believe in the Reds right now?
Oh, God.
Oh, welcome to the comment
The
section.
simulator
Beebs.
just ran the numbers. They believe.
Reds. They can't lose right now. I get it. The other side of the matchup, the Trevor Plouffe Bowl, the Marlins and the Giants.
No holes in those Giants. They move on.
Giants advance. The Giants advance to play the Braves.
Braves are really good.
Braves are really
Yeah.
good.
They move on.
This one, welcome to June 23rd, the Diamondbacks versus the Cincinnati Reds to go to the NLCS.
Our snakes, man. They
Yes.
can pitch. Wow. Zach Allen.
The
welcome to the welcome to the party, man.
The 1 and 2 seeds in the NL right now. Shouldn't surprise you, Trev. Let's tee up the American League. And look at this. Tell me if you've seen this one before. Twins Yankees.
You know, you got to believe in some things in this world, and until it doesn't happen,
Oh no.
you gotta say Yankees.
How did you think it was going the other way, Trev?
He believes in something in this world.
Yankees beat the
Thought there were
Twins
monsters on the world.
somehow. If this happens, leave me in our TV watching room, our live stream lounge. I blanked on the name of it. Orioles versus Astros. The old dynasty versus the new dynasty.
The Astro season begins in the CS.
Wow.
does.
A lot of orange in that series.
A lot of orange. Lot
Gibby's
of
hair.
Now, a series we will see this weekend. The New York Yankees would play the Texas Rangers.
Rangers.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
defense rest. And on the other side, tell me if you've seen this before. Rays Astros.
I just told you the Astros season begins in the CS.
How about a little Texas two-step in the American League? The Texas Rangers versus the Houston Astros to go to the World Series.
The Rangers.
Wow. New sheriff.
that.
New sheriff
Welcome to
in
the
town.
simulator, baby.
And they will be facing the winner of the DBacks versus the Braves.
It's Atlanta.
I could see it. I don't agree with it, Stimulator.
I like the series. I like the series.
Braves, Rangers, two elite offenses. Braves are back in it. Texas resurgence. The winner
Southern boys.
of the 2023 World Series is...
Do we like these uniforms? It's the Atlanta Braves.
Congratulations to the Braves getting another World Series title. The first stimulator of the year. Expect a few more along the way. Enjoy your weekends. We will see you back here Monday. See what the gods give to us.
Chick sucks.
Nashville. Dad's coming home. Let's get a baseball team there.
Let me just tell you something, bro. Let loose. Okay?
No.
No holds barred.